From the alley-oops at Keyshaw to the glory days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback podcast time. We got a big week this week. The 49ers play the Washington and what should be a fantastic game. Dan Snyder is an absolute terrible owner. Kyle Shanahan hates him, and I can't wait to see what Kyle comes up with. Plus, I think some other people got something for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is a big-time game this week. It's to keep the Niners' playoff hope alive. They're also hoping to keep their playoff hope alive.
True.
So it's a big-time game. I think, yeah, they're both 5-7. Obviously, the have a better chance of making the playoffs because their division is god-awful. But the Niners better come to play. Because that defense is for real.
They really are.
Yeah, the football team's defense is for real, guys. Okay, but yeah, this week's a big week. The Niners need to find a way to put it together. This is a team that's super hot. And I have to say right now, after their win against the Pittsburgh Steelers, they are riding an extreme high. It's the best time for the underdog to come in and take their legs out from underneath them. I don't know if we're necessarily the underdogs, but we need to play like it this week.
Yeah, sometimes when you have a big win like that, you can come, into the game kind of riding that. And they definitely are a team that hasn't got too many wins under their belt, but they're right up there in the thick of the playoff hunt. And they are actually in the thick of the wild card playoff hunt, which I never thought I would say for the NFC East. But the Washington are right back in it. Alex Smith, Mr. Checkdown, has been making plays. And I want to see what you guys think about your key matchups. I'm interested where everyone's going with this. Horst, what is your offensive key matchup for the 49ers against this Washington football team?
My key matchup is Kyle Shanahan versus Washington defensive coordinator Jack Del Rio. They're a very well-coached defense led by their front four. Del Rio, Rivera, those guys are both very good and very well-known defensive coaches. The Niners are having trouble scoring points right now with Nick Mullins at the helm. Kyle's really got to figure something out, get the offense rolling, keep it rolling, whether it's the little toss plays to Debo, Ayuk, or maybe it's running a little more to the interior than outside than he has been. I don't know what it is he's got to do, but he's got to figure something out because that's a good defense, and they need to score some points to have a chance in the game.
Yeah, they definitely need to score some points. I don't know how they're going to get it done, but one way would be to get Raheem Mostert involved, which is why my key matchup on offense this week is Raheem Mostert versus the game script. Unfortunately for Raheem Mostert, he doesn't have a lot of control in terms of how the game script plays out. When there's passing downs, we've seen Shanahan really likes to go with Jeff Wilson Jr. in there. Raheem Mostert can be involved. We've seen him be involved early in the season against the Giants. He was involved. But against this Washington football team, Raheem Mostert being in the game, being able to get more than 8 or 9 touches would be huge. Being able to put the ball in his hand 14 or 15 times is big. A lot of that's going to be rushing the football, obviously, which means guys like Nick Mullins have to take care of the football. We cannot have mistakes. We have to capitalize on drives. We can't shoot ourselves in the foot. We got to keep this game script positive in the favor of the 49ers and not the football team. So Raheem Mostert is more involved this week because I think a more involved Raheem Mostert touching the ball 14 or 15 times is going to make Jeff Wilson that much more dangerous. It's going to make Tevin Coleman that much more dangerous. It's going to make the offense that much more dangerous, and we can put up more points than we have been.
Yeah, I think that is going to be a key. And my key matchup is going to be Jordan Reed versus everybody. This guy is going to be fired up. You think Kyle Shanahan's going to be fired up. Jordan Reed is going to be out there proving that he can defeat the and that he can play big time and that they should have gave him a big time contract. He's a big player as long as the freaking quarterback can get him the ball, which seems to be a real struggle. For some reason, Mullins cannot get Jordan Reed the ball all the time. It's really hard to watch, actually. He misses the biggest target on the field, consistently. So if Jordan Reed comes out there with the aggression I think he's going to have a big-time game. And I think that the 49ers need to ride him to a big-time game because Brandon Ayuk has now proven that they have to take him seriously on the outside. Yes, he's going to have more opportunities underneath. But the quarterback has to prove that he can, go over the top and make plays. And I'm not sure that Mullins can do that consistently. But I'm hoping that Jordan Reed will help make that happen. I do look for Jordan Reed to have a big game and maybe even be the complete reason the 49ers win this game.
By the way, another revenge guy, Trent Williams, going to be out there trying to collect some heads.
Yeah.
Everyone forgets about that.
And that was an ugly departure.
Big time.
Yeah, it wasn't a pretty departure. And for those of you that don't know, if you don't know anything about that saga, Trent Williams with the head, he had an issue with his head, had some pain in his head, especially when he wore his helmet, went to the Washington football team and informed them that, hey, it was an issue and this was bump on my head. They told him it was nothing to worry about. Turned out to be cancer.
Yep. Actual
cancer. So the cancerous organization that was the Washington. Yeah. I mean, you can draw the lines from there. You can fill in the rest of the blanks. I don't even have to finish that thought.
Nope.
My word.
But if you think he's not going to be out to collect heads?
For sure. I think that, Kyle, Trent, and Jordan Reed are going to be out there looking for some payback in a big way. And unfortunately, the football team is going to have to deal with it.
Absolutely, they're going to have to deal with it. And they're going to have to deal with this defense. What do you think the defensive key matchups are for this week in this game, Anthony?
Well, my defensive key matchup is going to be the 49ers secondary against the Redskins' kind of unproven, younger receiving core. Pretty good tight end, but they're going to have to lock it down because when it comes to Alex Smith, he wants to check down. So I think this is a week where you can really press receivers, get on them, make them feel uncomfortable. Do not let them have the quick throws underneath, and that'll allow maybe the pass rush to get there. So I'm looking forward to seeing Verrett and Sherman bounce back. I think that they will be eager and ready. I think Tarvarius Moore is going to be eager and ready after the bad showing that they had last week. The don't have anyone that can operate to the level of Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen. So it's really going to be, can they stop Alex Smith from feeling comfortable? When he doesn't feel comfortable, he will make mistakes. He's not as athletic as he used to be as he's gotten older. So I think the 49ers can take advantage of that. So I look for the secondary to clamp down, and I think that'll be a key matchup in the game.
We like to call Alex Smith Mr. Checkdown in a loving joke. So that leads to my defensive key matchup is the 49ers defensive backs and linebackers being successful tackling the skill players. They've got to make open field tackles against them. Alex Smith and that offense will give you the chance to stop them short on third downs. But if you miss the tackle, they get a first down. It happened all game against the Steelers. Logan Thomas, Antonio Gibson, those guys all would make people miss once they got the ball out there, and they would get 5 yards instead of 3, 7 instead of 5, and so on. And that can be the difference in this game, is the first guy there making the tackle and stopping them dead in their tracks instead of the first guy getting ran by and giving up another 3 to 5 yards.
Yeah, and to that point as well, it's been the question mark of the linebacking core, especially as they're tackling in the open field and against the run game with Antonio Gibson with the toe injury, may or may not be playing. J.D. McKissick has shown that he's a viable back, especially at receiving out of the backfield.
They also have Peyton Barber.
They have Peyton Barber still too as well, and he's going to be more of the running back on the running downs. I'd imagine McKissick's going to be the third down guy, running more pass routes. Smith has shown he can hit him. It's a big test for that linebacking core to show the level of improvement necessary for us to play at a high level defensively. But my defensive key matchup is the D-line versus the bionic man that is Alex Smith. He is not the same player he used to be, especially mobility-wise. The surgeries did a number on his leg. Obviously, you saw the bloody leg last week from the shots he was taking against the Steelers. He isn't going to be as mobile. He isn't going to be able to get away. This is a week that should benefit us in the D-line, the pass rush, because you don't have to worry about chasing a guy who's going to be running around. He's not going to be running around a whole lot. Alex Smith can still extend plays to an extent, but not to the level that he used to. He's definitely not going to be out running for first downs unless there's no one within 20 feet of him. So the D-line needs to really focus on being aggressive, getting up into space quickly as they can, getting upfield around the edge, setting the edges quick, having the pass rush up the middle. That bull rush, when it's working for Kinlaw, has worked well, but we got to get pressure inside, make Smith uncomfortable, force him into those checkdowns a little bit earlier, and then start jumping and anticipating Smith looking for those checkdown routes.
Yeah, I think it's also going to be, this is kind of a bonus one, is the blitz that Robert Saleh brings, because we've seen from all the years watching Alex Smith that if you blitz him, he will throw and check down early. So if you can get a blitz on him and him go to his hot route early, as long as those corners, jump on those routes quick, he will not have opportunities to beat you downfield. And he will throw on 3rd and 8 a 2-yard pass.
Correct.
And just check it down. He's like an automatic mode. This is what I'm supposed to do. He's so just analytic that way. So he just does it automatically. So I think the 49ers need to bring the blitz in a big way this week. And I think it'll pay off in a big way if they do it.
If you're as excited about this big game as we are, scroll down, subscribe, hit the like button, and even comment and let us know if there's a matchup we may have missed.
Yeah, please. Yeah, especially if we missed it, we should probably cover it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really bold. Whoa.
We're right on me because it's Wow, That's Bold time. My favorite segment of the entire podcast. I don't know if it's your favorite, but I love it. This is the best time because I get to be myself and just be dramatic and over the top and say something crazy. And this week, the crazy thing, that I really want to happen and can happen and should happen and will happen because this defense is hungry. Kyle Shanahan's hungry. You know what he wants? He wants the 49ers to commit 0 turnovers against the Washington football team, and it's going to happen. No turnovers for the 49ers this week. I want to say lock it up, but this isn't lock it up. It's bold. It's going to happen.
That is very bold with that pass rush to hold Mullins not to get a fumble or a strip sack or just throw an errant pass.
One time, just forget that he's supposed to throw
I will
Fart
give you
the
that.
ball out of his butt.
I'll give you that. That's really bold.
It is.
My wow that's bold is that the 49ers defense is going to clamp down on check down, Alex. They're going to clamp down on these receivers, and there will not be enough run game. The Washington football team will have some opportunities because I believe their defense is going to cause some opportunities. But I think that the 49ers will hold them to 0 touchdowns in the game.
Whoa. That's pretty bold.
Naturally.
After their huge comeback against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hey, Horse, Ben, what do you got?
We have a special teams related Wow, That's Bold.
Whoa.
Okay.
Robbie Gould will
gosh.
kick at least and make at least 4 field goals in this game.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. That might be that one hurts. That ball hurts because if it happens, Nick Mullins did barely enough to have us put points on the board.
Well, as long as my wow that's bold comes true and they don't score any touchdowns, we win.
And hold them to 3 field goals.
So wait a minute.
right.
So you mean it's gonna be just like last year's game?
Yes.
Minus the monsoon.
Oh,
Or Nick Bosa. Or DeForest Buckner.
Oh.
I just got really sad.
Or any sliding on the field.
I just went from midnight to 6.
Oh. And now it's that time. It's time where we make picks on games, lock it up, and what was that? I don't get paid either.
A computer just stole your job, Daddy.
What the heck?
He gets it.
I don't get it. But it's time for lock it up.
He gets it.
I get it.
Let's see what we got going on this week.
Because like the Giants having the big people.
Finally.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Oh, hi everyone. The Azorean one, Anthony Esteves here. As you can see, I'm continuing with the holly jolly season and finding things to make me feel all warm, tingly, and happy inside. Yeah. Oh, it's coffee. It's just coffee. Nothing else. Nothing else added to it. Just coffee. I know. As a Niner fan, it's a little difficult to find things to make you feel holly jolly right now. Especially after what happened on Monday. Yeah. It's okay. I'm not going to get angry about it. I'm not going to do it because it's December and it's time to find joy. And that's what I'm doing. I'm finding joy and happiness through other means, like AMC. AMC is having their best Christmas ever, showing nothing but holiday movies this entire month. Everything from Polar Express to Grinch to Griswold, all of that, all month long. And how can you not find joy in that? Also, things like Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman 1984 comes out on Christmas Day on HBO Max. And as an HBO Max subscriber, this comic book dude right here is happy for that one, Excited for that because not really finding anything to be excited about this NFL season. Especially when you're 5-7, somehow 5-7 in, another division, like, NFC East, that gets you tied for first place. How does that happen? How does that happen in a professional, legitimate sport? Nope. Yeah! Warm and joy and holly jolly inside. That's what we need. Because you know what? In the end, it's just, sports, right? It's just football. Just a team you've adored since birth. Since you first saw Joe Montana take the field. Since the 2-minute drive, Since you first saw Roger Craig high-step it into the end zone, and now all of a sudden you go from NFC champions in the Super Bowl, and now you're 5-7? And how does it happen from one season to the next? Coffee's good. Coffee is good. Makes me holly jolly. Anyways, before I go full Topo Gigio on you, let's lock it up. With more football talk, lock it up. Here are my picks for this week, week 14 of the NFC West. I am choosing the Rams over the Patriots, choosing the Cardinals over the tied for first place 5-7 Giants, taking the Seahawks over the Jets, and of course taking the Niners over Washington. Hopefully. Anyways, I hope you find what makes you feel holly jolly this month. Whether it's the Santa Claus trilogy, or Love Actually, or The Holiday, whatever it may be. May you watch plenty of it to make you feel good inside. And if you can't do that watching a movie, there's always coffee. Lots of coffee. Great tasting coffee. Oh, yeah. 5-7.
Welcome, everybody, to Lock It Up.
Look at it.
You got to see Esteves' picks. He did his thing.
The Azorean one.
My apologies. The Azorean one. And now you get to find out where we stand.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the first game up. The Cardinals at the New York Football Giants. They do have big people. Anthony, where are you standing on this game?
Well, Seattle just went to the Giants and really struggled.
Yeah.
And they won that game. The Giants with Colt McCoy at quarterback. I watched a lot of that game. Man, did Seattle look bad. And Arizona, since the whole Hail Murray thing have not looked good.
No.
If that was an omen, it was definitely a bad one for them.
Yeah.
They've got to travel across the country. They've been kind of disheveled as well as with the practice fields and all that stuff, so they're going to be a little out of sorts.
Oh, my gosh.
So I'm picking
Oh, my gosh.
the Giants
Oh, my gosh.
to lose this game.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
20-16. The defense will show up for the Giants, but I believe that DeAndre Hopkins is just too much. They cannot cover him. After last week, he's completely irritated, upset. I won't be surprised if he gets targeted 20 times, and the Cardinals win.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you over there. Giants better savor the flavor because this ain't happening again.
They do have more big people.
They do have all the big people.
They do have all.
Because they're giant.
Yeah.
Thanks for the clarification.
For those of you out there struggling with that, I have the Cardinals pulling it out in a tough, hard-fought game, 27-21.
Very nice, gentlemen. Very nice. Hey, you remember how wow that spoiled was last segment? It's still this segment, boys, because the New York Football freaking Giants are going to take care of business against the Arizona Cardinals. I think that team is completely...
Is it a size advantage thing?
It's kind of a size advantage. I mean, they are giants, and Kyler Murray is practically a little person. But that's besides the point, because...
I don't know, but
That
David did
just-
slay Goliath.
David did slay Goliath, but that's not happening in this case. There is no David slaying Goliath here. I think the Arizona Cardinals have been figured out. I think people have... Many Christmas, right in the middle of my shtick. Really?
Right?
Really, sir? Really?
Well, you made the joke.
I made a little person joke.
Right.
Little person. Tiny. Small.
Not giant.
Not giant. Back on track.
All right, sorry.
Back on track.
Yeah, he didn't say Kyler Murray needed a car seat or anything.
No, I didn't go.
Booster seat to
What
eat
about a
Thanksgiving
step-
dinner.
What about a step stool?
I don't know. Do you think his jeans are called short-legged?
He wears jorts, bro. He wears jorts for jeans.
That's
Oh, my Lord. Kyler Murray small. Anyway, the New York Football Giants are going to take care of business against this Arizona football team, and the reason they're going to take care of business against the Arizona Cardinals, Arizona football team, lol, is because I think teams have the Arizona Cardinals offense figured out. This is now 2 or 3 weeks in a row where their offense cannot get going early. I do think they're going to try and go heavy to DeAndre Hopkins. I would not be surprised to see something crazy like 2 guys running over to cover DeAndre Hopkins over the top, really pressing him, trying to force him to throw the ball over the top and having a safety just sitting there waiting, and really trying to make Kyler Murray progress through his reads past option 1, which is DeAndre Hopkins. I think the New York Giants have a lot to play for right now, being right up the top of the division, and a chance to win the division and be a top 4 seed going into playoffs. I think all of these teams in the NFC East right now are salivating at the opportunity to make the playoffs. I think only a handful of them thought they had an actual chance to be there. And I think with the complete implosion of the conference and them all looking like crap, they've all realized they have a lot to fight for. Not just a top pick overall, but also a chance to get into the playoffs and maybe, who knows, get hot and go on a run. That part's probably highly unlikely, though.
Yeah, one key matchup, just a bonus key matchup for that game, will be Jabril Peppers blitzing against Kyler Murray. I think that's going to be a matchup. He's been coming on the blitz a lot, and it has been very impressive.
That's kind of what Seattle does with Adams.
It is what he does, and Jabril Peppers, I think, is finally getting a role that fits his skill set and that he can finally be successful and see kind of the talent we saw at Michigan finally come to fruition in New York.
Good for him.
Speaking of New York, that other team, the one that blows games, the one that had a game won against the Vegas Raiders, and they choked because their defensive coordinator is unemployed now because he deserves to be unemployed.
What you mean to tell me that a cover zero all out blitz is a great idea? Is not a great idea at the end of a game when you have the lead and 15 seconds
and you
left
don't cover the
50 yards?
fastest man in the world, or at least the world of football, with a good corner. Yeah, it might be a problem.
I didn't know Raheem Mostert played for the Vegas Raiders.
No. Okay, but the Jets are traveling to Seattle. Seattle just got back from New York, and now they welcome the New York Jets. Horst, who do you have in this game?
One question real quick.
Mm-hmm.
How big is Jabril Peppers? Because he's not that big. I'm confused.
But his personality.
He's a big time player.
There you go.
Okay. So back to games that don't matter. We got Seattle probably pretty unhappy about their performance last week against the New York Giants. We have the Jets, who are the Jets. We have, I'm going to say 41-17 Seattle.
Ooh, 41-17.
I know I was a little too nice to the Jets.
I was a little.
you got Russ cooking.
Yeah, you do. Guys, while that bold's not over,
Oh, no.
the New York Jets
Oh, God.
are going to walk into Seattle and then turn the ball over no less than 5 times
Okay.
as the Seahawks win 56-10.
I thought the loony bin was seriously going.
No, it's going to be an absolute throttling. I don't see any way whatsoever that Pete Carroll doesn't have these guys completely fired up and firing on all cylinders. You're going to see DK Metcalf destroying the defense. You're going to see Tyler Lockett destroying the defense. You're going to see Sam Darnold destroying his own team. You're going to see Adam Gase. I don't know. Maybe he just quits by halftime. He's like, I can't do this no more. I'm done. And just leaves. That'd be good for football. Good for
Frank Gore will punch him.
Maybe that could be a good thing too. But yeah, 56-10, Seattle.
I don't have it going exactly like you guys do. I think Jamal Adams is going to sack Sam Darnold a bunch. He's going to be fired up. I wouldn't even be surprised if we don't get some hand gestures and stuff towards Adam Gase. I think that's going to be fun to watch. I think he will blitz more in this game than any time during the season. And I think that Sam Darnold is going to see ghosts. And I think he's going to throw interceptions. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to run for his life. And I still think this game is going to be somewhat close because I don't think that Seattle's offense can cook like it should and like it has been. And I think that they will win, but it's not going to be as big as you guys. I think it's more like a 27-9 victory for the Seattle Seahawks.
Clear and decisive.
All right, boys. Up next, before we get to the big one, we got the big matchup. The Los Angeles Rams versus the New England Patriots. Bill Belichick looking to get one up on the offensive mastermind that is Sean McVay. What do we got, Anthony?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup. We know Belichick has figured out the Rams before. You got Cam Newton on the other side, who is doing nothing through the passing game.
Man, I'll tell you what. Just over 150 yards in the last 2 games. Total passing yards. That's impressive.
That's impressive.
It's true, they did win.
Yeah, after really thinking about this and kind of thinking about the key matchups and all that, I think that we're going to see...
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
No, button that back up. The Rams are going to win this game 31-17. Rams victory.
Oh my word.
This is an interesting matchup because if I just have visions of the Super Bowl and the total Patriots defensive shutdown of that Rams team.
Just dancing in his head.
But their pass game is so inept. It's a struggle. Like, I could see the Patriots pulling it off just because Bill Belichick is Bill Belichick. But I'm going to go with the Rams. I don't think the Patriots defense that shut down that Rams team is as talented as the one that they had.
Yeah.
No.
And I just think the Rams defense is too talented to get beat up by the one-dimensional Patriots offense. I'm going to go with Rams 27-17.
I don't know if I could be any more bold in this segment than I've already been. But a man can try. And boy, oh boy, I'm going to take advantage of this 4-game week and do my very darndest to either sink my ship and have absolutely no chance and just play it safe the rest of the year, or somehow come out of this darn near close to the lead and lock it up, boys. The reason why Cam hasn't been performing well, it's all a ploy. It's all just fake nonsense. He's not really struggling with his shoulder to throw the ball downfield. No. McVay just wants you to think that because Cam's going to come out and throw for over 200 yards against this Rams team, and they're going to win just by the skin of their chinny chin. 21-17 New England.
Whoa.
That's right, boys. We went from wow, that's bold to lock it up, but it's bold.
Really bold.
Really bold.
Whoa. So next up, we have the big one. 49ers. Who do you got?
Okay. I have a very ugly affair. Very similar to last year, except obviously without the monsoon, as you stated earlier. 16-3, San Francisco. That's right, folks. They put up 1 touchdown. It's going to be a long run early in the game, and then it's just going to be game. No, definitely Raheem Mostert. And then it's going to be a whole lot of game managing for Kyle Shanahan and Nick Mullins, relying heavily on the defense, playing the field position game, keeping Alex Smith at bay, and just riding this thing out to a victory and putting us one step closer to the playoffs.
I have a really hard time trusting Mullins, and I've said this, that they can't make the playoffs if Mullins is quarterback consistently. I don't know how this offense is going to be successful against this defensive line for the Redskins. I think that they're a very solid group, and they just keep coming. They keep coming. I think that the secondary for the Washington football team is not as good as it has been in the past, and I think there are going to be plays there. But can Mullins get the ball out and not just take multiple sacks and throw into coverage and make mistakes? And I'm going to say this, he's going to make a plethora of mistakes in this game, but the 49ers are still going to win in what could be one of the most exciting games of all time that goes 16-12 if you like field goals. That's what's going to happen. 16-12, 49ers defeat.
I don't like field goals. I don't like field goals. Yikes. Yikes-arinos.
All right.
But, I mean...
Horst didn't make his
I
pick.
didn't get to
Oh, my Lord.
Okay. Now that we've done that, I have an even uglier game than either of you pictured. Okay, this is how the scoring's going to go down.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, wait, a full breakdown?
Shotgun snap over Alex Smith's head for a safety. And the Niners kick a field goal later in the game. Washington squeaks in a field goal, 5-3. No, not really. Not really.
I was going to say, if that doesn't happen, that's an asterisk.
Not really. I'm just kidding. That would be hilarious.
Yeah,
That would be, watch it, but if that happened, I mean, the
and if
look...
it happens, though, he took it back.
The look on all of our faces as the shotgun snap goes over Smith's head. Oh, my God.
You
It'd
gotta,
be like Bobby Boucher's mom over there.
you gotta remember...
That's what it's going to be.
Hey, Seattle was winning the game the other day 5-0, so this is not out of the question.
Okay, so what I really think is going to happen is a real ugly game filled with turnovers, probably by both sides, definitely by Nick Mullins. The Niners defense will hold Alex Smith at bay, and I think they'll do a good enough job with the running game. I have the Niners winning 19-16 on 4 field goals and a Jordan Reed touchdown.
Ooh, a Jay Reed TD.
But it's going to be like 2 yards, like not that great a play by Mullins. He just throws it up, and Jordan Reed, it goes...
Just makes a nice catch, and then he like prances into the end zone, and then we're like, "Oh my gosh!"
And then Nick Mullins probably like jogs off to the wrong sideline because he doesn't even know where he is.
Or he goes over to the pylons like he's gonna fix them, and then everyone's like, "Oh, he's the pylon fixer."
He's such a nerd for that.
No, I'm aware.
If I'm not on record saying that.
You are on record saying that, I believe, but just in case, everybody, he's a nerd, courtesy of our co-host Alex Horst. Way to go, bud. Those were our picks. That's what we think is going to happen. That's how we think this week's going to break down. What do you think? Let us know in the comments section down below. We'll talk back. We can have, a friendly, open conversation discussion about this. And while you're at it, you might as well just like and subscribe to the page if you're not already. Hit that notification bell. That way, you get notified every week when we do this. That's right. This show happens every week.
Happens 2 times a week.
2 times a week. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was underselling our performance.
True.
Sometimes 3.
It does. Occasionally we have a little special episode.
Occasionally. And who knows, if we get enough people commenting, conversing, liking, subscribing to the page, who knows, maybe we'll just throw some stuff out there. Random special episode. I don't know. Maybe we'll feel like it. I don't know. But now it's time for something I put in. I put this, that's right, I did the work and put this in. It took me all of 2 seconds to type this up. What am I supposed to be waiting on, sir?
I just remembered something. Forgive me for that. The headline I saw said, sign former someone starting cornerback, so I thought it was actually
like
an important.
And it wasn't.
Sorry,
it's okay.
Before I was so rudely
interrupted with from this man,
Johnny Bench.
I'd put all this effort into typing this thing out. Would you rather? It's a question to propose to you. I've been seeing it a lot on the 49er fan pages all over the place. 49er fans having this discussion. Would you rather the 49ers make the playoffs, Anthony, or tank for a better draft pick?
I'm going to make this perfectly clear. I'm not a huge fan of tanking. I think that with us not being anywhere near the top 5, there's no reason to do this. That's where the real value is, as far as getting the quarterback that you want or whatever you're looking to do. I don't like tanking. I like rooting for my team to win. I want my team to win as many times as they can. I want these guys to want to win. And so I'm not into tanking. And I know a lot of people are. A lot of people want to start tanking as soon as you lose 2 or 3 games in the season. And that's just not how I'm built. I'm a competitor. I want to win. I want my team to win. And I think that if my team didn't want to win, that I would stop watching, because that's not something I want to be a part of. If I was a Jets fan right now, I'd really think about not watching anymore. I mean, that's just terrible. So, I'm not in for the tanking horse. How about you?
No, I definitely don't like it. And especially, they're 5-7. They're not 2-12. Okay, I get that when you're at the end of a 2-win season and you got the number 1 pick locked up, and there's a guy like Trevor Lawrence sitting there. For fans, to be like, oh, please don't win one now when you have no chance at doing anything with the season. But if we're talking right now where the Niners could literally still make the playoffs, I think you're weird if you're rooting for them to lose. I don't think that's being a real fan. Being a real fan's rooting to win. And I don't understand why you follow sports if you want your team to lose. It's strange to me. I don't like it at all. Like I said, I get it if your team's way out like that, for the last game or two, like hoping they lose because you want a guy like that, but not when the team starts the year 2-4 and I hope we lose the rest of the... I don't like that. I think that's garbage.
I'm in the same boat as you, both of you. I think that probably for all of us stems from the fact that we all used to coach and we all played sports. We were competitive growing up. The idea behind tanking is, as you said, Horst, understandable when it's all kind of like for naught anyway. The season's already played out. You did your best to win games, and you just couldn't get it done. But that's not what this team is. That's not where this team is at. We're 5-7. We got the whole rest of the season in front of us. We still have plenty of opportunities and ample opportunities to not only get into the playoffs, but to set ourselves up and build momentum for next season. Even if we get all ever so close to making the playoffs and we come up short, I would rather that be the attempt than for us to sit there and hope and lose and pray that we end up with a top 10 or a top 8 or a top 7 draft pick or something like that. At the end of the day, a top 7 draft pick isn't what's going to get this team over the hump. In all honesty, it's going to be the future development of Jimmy Garoppolo. It's going to be creating cap space to re-sign some key pieces next offseason. It's going to be signing a quarterback in free agency if you decide Garoppolo's not going to be the guy going forward. It's not going to be a top 7 guy at another position that's not quarterback, and you're not going to get the quarterback you want with a top 7 pick. You could get that same quarterback with pick 14, 15, pick 20, pick 32 if you win the whole thing. You could get that quarterback with one of those picks because you're not going to get the Fields, you're not going to get the Trevor Lawrences. There's no reason to try and make a play for him. It's not possible. And I think, in all honesty, if we play this season out and try and make the playoffs we're going to end up with a draft pick that's most likely at the back end, 20 or later. And there are going to be some teams who are desperate to get up in early and grab some more first-round talent that feel they're a piece or two away, and that gives us more leverage for the future. I mean, look what the Miami Dolphins did with the Houston Texans. They're sitting there now with potentially their pick in the 20s, and the Houston Texans in potentially a top 10 situation. When you have the leverage and you can make some moves for some players and you're willing to give it your best shot, desperate teams make desperate decisions when times get tough and when times get rough. And there are a lot of teams in the NFL right now that are really, really close to making desperate moves because they feel they're a piece or two away. I don't think the Niners are a piece or two away. I don't think any of you think that. I think most rational fans don't think that either. because the honest to God truth is we were there last year and had it. Mm-hmm. We didn't need any additional pieces last year to win a Super Bowl. We just had to execute better for one drive. One drive and we have a Super Bowl ring. I don't feel that's a piece thing. I think that's just a team thing.
Well, I think the problem too is everyone acts like when you tank and you get a top 10 pick, like you're Willy Wonka and you got the golden ticket. I got the golden ticket, and really we've seen how many times that you get players that go in the top 10 that end up being busts or don't develop or, just don't turn out. Look at Solomon Thomas. He's not a top 10 guy, and that's somebody that, so you don't know what you're going to get with that pick. You hope, you dream, but you got Patrick Mahomes going at number 10. You've seen other guys
you got
going.
George Kittle in the 5th round.
Yeah, exactly. You got guys going all over the place. So I think that really you can't go on that. You play as hard as you can. You let things happen the way they happen. And then you make the best decision you can make for your football team in that spot. And just tanking, it doesn't seem like it works out very often. You see it all the time.
Not in football.
No, it's a lot different. There's so many things that can go into it. And so hopefully that, people start kind of realizing, but I don't think fans are going to change. Either fans are for tanking or they're not. I don't think there's anyone that's going to change their mind. But no matter what, I'm always going to just be faithful and rooting for my team. I don't care if they're, 2-13 going into the last game. I'm rooting for them to win. So that's just how I'm built. And, it's fun at that point if they are. It's kind of fun to kind of laugh and say, no, don't do good. But, that was a huge cough, man.
Sorry. Yeah. Oh, my Lord. Thank goodness he into his hand. Otherwise,
Yeah.
Bronies.
Everywhere. But, hey, big week.
Yep.
A week to get back on track.
It's a must-win.
A week to get that must-win on the table and then restart our consecutive winning streak of winning 2 games in a row. We can do it.
Yeah, the 49ers need to come back and win this game, and they need to win every game after it, but you can't win all of them unless you win this one. So they got to focus and do that. I know Shanahan will want to do it, and I'm sure the team will be motivated to make sure that it happens for him. As long as no crazy COVID things pop up, I think they can be successful. They didn't have any real big injuries coming out except for DJ Jones, but he possibly could play. It wasn't a high ankle sprain, so they have an opportunity.
Absolutely. Just ready for this week, guys. It's a big opportunity for the team to get themselves right back in the playoff race. I was just contemplating what he said, and
it was deep.
It was very serious, and I'm just excited for the opportunity to watch the Niners play again. Excited to watch them stop Alex Smith. Congratulations to Alex on his Comeback Player of the Year award. He hasn't gotten yet, but not this week.
Yeah, he is definitely with 100% certainty winning that Comeback Player of the Year. He is not going to come back to Arizona at home and beat the 49ers. At home, though, sorry, Alex, I hate to rain on your parade, but it's not happening. 49ers are going to get it done this week. We're going to have something to celebrate on Tuesday.
Yep.
Confetti and celebrations and happiness all around.
Make sure you check out Tuesday's episode. We'll be giving you all the reaction of the 49ers versus the Washington football team. Everything you missed. Can the 49ers get back on track, get the wins? It's going to be 5:30 Pacific right here. Make sure you check out the 49ers Cutback YouTube channel and also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcast. You can check it out while you're working, do whatever. Make sure to check it out. It's always a good time. We always have lots of laughs, and we bring a lot of information we want to bring to you. Join the conversation, join the crew, join the team, and make sure you check it out.
I agree.
We're going to bring the noise.
The noise.
The noise.
Yeah, that's very accurate.
You know what else is accurate? It's about that time.
It is about that time. You know what time it is? Let's chalk another one up.
Let's go, horse. Come on now. Let's go, horse. You got this. Let's go, horse.
You can do it. It's all up to you.
We'll help you change your life today. Welcome to the 49er Cutback. You should subscribe or I'm going to hit your nutsack.
That was pretty good, actually. And if we missed it and you tell us, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
That probably should.